The Deer Farming Channel is brought to you by Rafter P Construction. Stick around to learn more about Rafter P's design build process and, of course, the biggest deer in the world. Wildlife Stories comes to you from deep East Texas. We're just outside of the little town of Woodville at Prime Acres. The whitetail deer is America's favorite big game animal, and whitetail deer farming is the fastest growing segment in the agriculture industry. Our program's mission is to dive into the world of deer farming and inform you of how deer farmers all over the country are now using rapidly developing science-based research on their captive deer herds to solve the chronic wasting disease issue through selective breeding. Not only is this new science working, but it's obvious that captive deer breeding is the only way to help save America's deer herds from CWD, which will help improve overall herd health and at the same time can produce more quality trophy-sized animals for the general public. Join me as we discover how whitetail genetics, deer auctions, animal husbandry, and so much more drive the modern-day deer farming industry. My name is Keith Warren, and this is Deer and Wildlife Stories.
I'm Brad Hassic. We're here at Prime Acres Whitetails and Exotics. We're up bright and early this morning getting TDA Crawfest 2024 event kicked off.
So right now it's the middle of May and fawns are not on the ground yet, but they're going to be born any day now, at least whitetail fawns. But the cool thing about Prime Acres, I've been coming out here for many, many years, and Brad Hassic and his family have grown some of the biggest and legendary deer in the deer industry. And I'm talking about whitetail deer, but now Brad's into exotics big time, so he's got some fantastic whitetails and some fantastic exotics, and everybody is here to learn more about whitetail deer and exotic farming, and also some great camaraderie.
The reason why we're doing this is just an outreach to the public and local ranchers. Our goal is to bring people in that are interested in what we do day in and day out, and understanding the benefits we bring to their ranch as well as the rest of the country. I gotta be honest, what most people are excited about is the crawfish.
Now we got it going on.
I'm from northeastern Oklahoma. Come down here with several of my friends from several different states, Missouri, Indiana, and Oklahoma, all here today in Texas to enjoy this event with our fellow farmers from here in Texas.
We're looking forward to becoming members of the TDA and starting to be deer farmers ourselves. Had a great time today at this event. Look forward to doing some more of them.
But everybody is welcomed in the deer farming family, and so when you come to events like this, you'll find out for yourself. And I encourage you, regardless of wherever you live, there's a deer farming event going on in your area. Make sure you check it out and go to it if you love deer. I think you're going to be blown away. You come to an event like this, and it's fun. But now it's time to leave the event and show you some big deer. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by MVP Whitetails, Dr. Ray Favero's Whitetail Genetics, Rut Manufacturing, and Rafter P Construction. For more videos on deer farming, check out the Deer Farming channel on YouTube and make sure and follow us on Facebook. So now it's the third week of August, and there's something always going on when you show up at Prime Acres Whitetails. So what's going on now? It looks completely different than it did before. We're going to catch up with Rosie and Erica as they take care of some exotic animals. And then later on, we're going to be showing you some unbelievable whitetails.
I'm Erica Caldwell. And I'm Rosie Hassic. Welcome to Prime Acres. Yeah! So I like to call this the exotic four corners. So we got our Oryx, our ibex, our kangaroos, and our Bongos. All right, hi babies. So these are scimitar horned Oryx, which are native to Africa. We got these girls in December, and then we got some more in January. And all of these girls are bottle raised. They are all female. We do not raise males, mainly because that's dangerous. These girls are tame, but not too tame, which we kind of like because they're pretty big. So we can get really close to them, but they're not necessarily come eat out of your hand like I want you to pet me all the time. But they're really pretty. Texas has actually done a lot for conserving the oryx in the wild. I think it was in 2016, they reintroduced some scimitar horned oryx into Chad that came from Texas. And before that point, they had actually been extinct in the wild there. So that to me is really cool. And to be able to kind of be a part of that and help raise some of those girls, I think is awesome. So these are Nubian ibex. We have 3 adult Nubian ibex in this pen and then 1 baby that was born in this pen. And this is about a 2-acre pen, so it's pretty big. And we bottle raised these 3 girls. And one of the reasons we bottle raise some of our breeder exotics is so that it's easy to get our hands on them. These Nubian ibex, because they come from a very rocky environment, their hooves tend to grow out really, really fast when you keep them in pens. So they need very regular hoof trims. So these girls, we've actually gotten them to the point where we can pick them up and hold them and trim their feet without any sedation at all. And they're getting really, really used to it. And the more used to this we can get them, the better. So when they're older, we don't have to sedate them as much to take good care of them. Okay, all done. Hi, how are you, sweetie? You're a good girl. Yes, you are.
This is my babies. This is Cindy Lou, and this is Mandy Rue. I have my babies for maybe a year. Wanna have 2 kangaroos because I think it's pretty cool. They're easy to take care of the kangaroos. Every day I come in and I give the peanut butter sandwich. They know when it's time for it. Oh my God, they love it. And they love marshmallows too. I change the water every day for they have fresh water because it's so hot these days, so.
In this pen are our breeding pair of Bongos, Betsy and BJ. They're another species that it's really cool that we have here because they're pretty rare in the wild. So it's pretty awesome that we have them because we're kind of helping contribute to keeping the species going. And we are expecting a calf in February, which we're really excited about. Because Bongos are from more of a mountainous region, they prefer a little bit cooler climate. So these Texas summers can be pretty hard on them. So we will occasionally put sprinklers out in the pen and they love to just stand in them. You can see the sprinkler go around and they'll just be standing there. So they definitely like the cooler weather. We're pretty excited to have Bongos here and to be able to grow a breeding herd would be super awesome. Hi guys!
Sweetie.
Come here, come here. So overall, Axis are very easy keepers. They do not have near the health problems that your whitetail do. And I think a lot of that is because they're not a native species to Texas. They do not get EHD, do not get CWD. I have not seen any pneumonia in them. They are not as prone to parasites. So all of these girls are bottle raised. We've got 23 in here. And we just had our first babies out of these girls. They're right over there. So you can see the 4 babies over there. And we're really excited about getting into AIing Axis and being able to do a little more selective breeding and seeing what we can grow as far as bucks.
That's all the exotic animals we have for now.
Who knows what you'll see next time?
When Deer and Wildlife Stories returns, we'll show you some whitetails here at Prime Acres. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by the Animal Kingdom Auction Barn and 5K Ranch, LE Fence Company, the Texas Deer Association, Rut Manufacturing, and New Dart. Closed captioning is brought to you by Advanced Deer Genetics. All right, so who are we looking at in here? These look like they're big 2-year-olds, right?
Yes, sir. They're just a pen of 2-year-old bucks.
And these are what y'all call stalkers. But I mean, and as you look at these deer, I mean, how many of them you got in here?
Oh, there's about 23 in this pen.
Golly, there's so many good ones. And you may be looking at it and you think, what is a stalker? We're gonna tell you what a stalker is in a minute. But there's one outstanding deer out there. He's got to be 28 inside. I mean, who is that right there?
That's 201.
No, and he's in a pen with stalkers, but certainly, I mean, that deer to me just pops out more than anybody in here. Certainly there's got to be people that want to get in on that and just like, don't stalk him, I'll use him as a breeder buck. Do you have people like that?
Oh yes, sir. We've had a few reach out on him.
I mean, so there are people that come out every year, and that although these deer that you're looking at, these stalkers are not breeder type quality deer for Prime Acres, they're breeder type quality deer for other breeders. And so they have people coming out all the time looking at these before they sell them as stalkers. Again, third week of August, payday for a deer farmer really comes when stalkers are sold. Before the stalkers are sold, people come out there and kind of cherry pick and see if they want to use one for a breeder. And the cool thing about it is if you do that, you can enter into partnerships. You can leave the deer here, you can enter into partnerships. Y'all do that all the time, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we partner on a lot of our bucks.
And so, you know, in the beginning they didn't partner on very many bucks, but now because they've grown so big, so many legends have been born right here that they partner on deer all over the country. So tell everybody where these stalkers go and why.
Most of them go here local around us. We haul them to places so they can improve their genetics on their release sites. And you know, it's a great way to boost your antler growth and your herd health.
Yeah, and so what'll happen is they wind up coming out here, and keep in mind that you're looking at the bucks. I mean, these bucks, you can see how big they are. Could you imagine purchasing these stalker deer and putting them on your place, and then years down the road you're going to see an improvement big time genetically in your herd. So when people buy stalker animals, tell everybody about these bucks. When do you deliver stalker bucks, and when do you deliver stalker does?
We try to get most of the stalkers delivered, you know, before the middle of September and get them out there. And most of our stalker does, they're more, you know, middle of February in that range after we've had them bred.
Yeah, so what you're going to be doing when you buy these stalker does is and that's what I would really encourage you to look at, stalker does, is because when you're buying a stalker doe, they're bred, and more than likely you're going to get 3 for 1. So if somebody wants information about coming out here and taking a look at whitetails, we're going to show you some beautiful yearling bucks in just a second. But if they want more information about Prime Acres, give them a phone number to call.
You can call it 409-200-0400.
What we're going to do right now is we're going to show you a bunch of yearlings. Folks, these are yearling bucks. Take a look at this pen. These are like over the top yearling bucks. I've been all over, north and south. I've been everywhere, man. And I come over here and it's like, holy smokes, as yearling bucks, y'all have got it going on. Genetics, you really do. I mean, there's so many outstanding ones in there. I mean, I don't even know where to start. It's, you know, but the production is really important. As your deer breeder, what you're looking for is you're looking for those lines of deer that produce over and over and over again. And I know that we have done so many shows throughout the years where they say, quote, Prime Acres is where legends are born. Okay, legends are born here, legends of the deer industry. And these deer out here, some of them have to go back to some of those legends, don't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who is that big one right there?
We named him Talk To Me. He's a Money Talks yearling.
Really? He looks just like his daddy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, look at how much he looks like his daddy. And that's a yearling.
Yes, sir.
How wide do you think he is?
Oh, he's up there. I mean who knows why as his father, but he's getting there.
But he is, as a yearling, you got to admit, that is some kind of big deer. Now, when you're going to use him for breeding, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you going to collect semen on him?
Yes.
So these deer that we're going to be showing you, I mean, semen is available on lots of these animals. So if you're interested in taking some of these genetics and moving them up north, you can contact Prime Acres. But who is that guy right there?
That's a Simply Irresistible son. There's actually 2 of him that are real nice. There's 350 and 368. Both sons off of Simply Irresistible really showed out and grown out for us.
Those are incredible. And you know, as you're looking at those deer right there and you hear Simply Irresistible, that's another legend. It's a living legend. He's right here. We'll show you Simply Irresistible here a little bit later in the show. But you can see as you look at these guys right here, keep this in mind as we're showing you Simply Irresistible in a little bit, you're going to see the production, the offspring out of it. And that's the reason why people breed with Prime Acres genetics, and they're getting good results. But those 2 guys right there are over the top.
Yes, sir.
All right, so who's that 47 right there?
That's a Back in Black son. He actually has a brother in here. It's 352 over here. And it really got our eyes on him, really growing out.
Yeah, Back in Black is another one of those legendary deer, and Back in Black, although he may be cut off right now,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, he's still alive and well, and he's throwing excellent. But tell everybody what you're going to do with these other yearlings. I mean, we've already pointed out these unbelievable ones, but there are lots of really good ones. What are you going to do with these guys?
We'll hold them over until they're 2, to see their potential, and then, whatever we decide not to hold on to, sell for stalkers, to help improve genetics out in people's reserves.
I want to point something out that you may look through here and there's a lot of big ones, but the smallest one out there may turn out to be the biggest 2-year-old yet.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's the reason why most people don't want to sell a deer as a yearling. And the reason why is because you could be selling the most valuable deer in the industry. And so that's the reason why they hold on to them till they're 2, so they can kind of evaluate at that point. But I'll tell you what, that's an impressive group of yearlings. And when Deer and Wildlife Stories returns, we're going to show you some impressive breeder bucks. And I think you're going to be very pleased. Deer and Wildlife Stories is brought to you by Record Rack Deer and Elk Feeds, the North American Deer Registry, New Dart, Mossy Rock Ranch, and the North American Deer Farmers Association. Now it's time for the LE Fence Minute.
Hey y'all, I'm Ron with LE Fence. I own and operate a fence company here out of Central Texas. We primarily focus on height game fence. However, we go into all the different sectors of fencing you could think of, whether that be privacy fence for neighborhoods or around your house, agricultural fence for horses and cattle, or our specialty is just building a high game fence. So we travel and work all over the United States and employ over 45 individuals that take extreme pride in upholding the high standards we have to ensure a satisfactory product to all of our clients. Whether that's personal fence and privacy fence around your house, agricultural fence for all of your animals, game fence for your large property or small property, or water gaps or any other type of land improvement that you can think of, we can help you take care of it right here at LE Fence.
All right, so right now we're going to show you the breeder bucks here at Prime Acres, and we just talked about when we were in the yearling pen about production off of Simply Irresistible and Back in Black. We're going to show you those guys right now. We're going to start with Simply Irresistible. Look at that deer right there. What a appropriate name. That deer is absolutely beautiful. We filmed him last year. And last year is when he really kind of blew up and got on the map. Everybody all over the country, they talk about Simply Irresistible. But look at him this year now, okay? I mean, in the comparison is he just supersized. He just got bigger.
Yes, sir.
I mean, he is absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I wish I would have done some breeding with him, but you've got semen on him.
Yes, sir.
There's people all over using him now. That right there is Back in Black. We mentioned Back in Black a little bit earlier, and he's cut off. Okay, he's cut off because he needed to have his antlers cut off because there was an issue. But we'll show you what he looked like last year. Okay, and Back in Black is a legend. He's a living legend here at Prime Acres, but I also want to point out that people are using him for breeding purposes all over the place, including up north. We were at Spotted Acres. They bred with him, and take a look at this offspring they got out of him, and it's a piebald. I mean, I was up there, I could not believe it. I mean, Back in Black, the production on him is unbelievable. Again, they got semen on him. But now you've also got another deer it's like when they name a deer out here, it becomes a legend. I'm telling you, it just does, because that right there is Horizon. It's gotta be Horizon, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, Horizon, look at him. Tell me about him. How old is he?
He's a 3-year-old.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So and he was born here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as he was a yearling, was he a standout in the pen?
Not really. I mean, he wasn't good. Didn't blow up till he was about 2, we get seen him, but this is really one of the first times we've kept deer till 3, and he really stuck out in the 3-year-old pen.
And so we hear that, I mean, as a 2-year-old, it was okay. But we just showed you a bunch of 2-year-olds that were, they were better than, come on, they're okay. But look at that right there, Horizon. And so there's people all over, already ordered semen to be breeding with him this fall. I want to talk about partners on him, because that deer has grown attention from all over. And so talk about your partners on him.
Yeah, we've got some really good partners. We got Black Hawk Whitetails from Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
We got Pine Creek Deer Farm in Indiana, and we also got High Roller Whitetails up here in Center.
What they're going to do is they're going to take the semen from Horizon, they're going to put it in some of their best does and see what happens, okay? And that's just the way it is. Now, talk about pedigree on Horizon.
That's Unforgiven over Back in Black's womb sister.
Okay. Which is a super stout pedigree, and you can see why partners all over are wanting to jump in and use that for breeding. But you've also got some other breeders out here. Tell them who you've got.
We got Wanted.
Okay. Wanted's a great big buck too.
Yes, sir.
Last year we filmed him, and boy, this year is no disappointment. And that's a heck of a deer. Well, there's one more deer I want to talk about, and his name is the Fix. And the reason I want to talk about him is because I'm a partner on this deer. I mean, the deer's got a great breeding value. He's a GS, and he's got the great look, and he's just gentle as he can be.
Yes,
and
sir.
so he throws really good. So that's just another breeder they got out here that I'm actually partners with, and I love that deer. But they've got a lot of deer out here to take a look at. And Connor, if people want to come out and take a look at what you've got, okay, normally I would tell you schedule a trip in August, okay, because that's when the whitetails are gone. But you may be interested in exotics. I mean, exotics, you sell them 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and so y'all at Prime Acres, you've really got the big picture going on here now. I mean, you handle it, not just the exotic world, but you also handle the whitetail world. But if you're interested in just contacting Prime Acres, whether you're for exotics or whitetails, give them a phone number.
You can reach us at 409-200-0400.
And give them a holler, and if you're looking at your 2025 calendar right now, go to April 26th and write down TDA Crawfest, and you will be surrounded by people that know more about whitetail deer than you could ever imagine. I'll be there. Of course, the Hassic family will be there, and we hope that you'll be there. Thanks for joining us. If you want to see more deer farming, head on over to YouTube. Check out the Deer Farming channel. If you want to follow us on Facebook, we'd love to have you do so. I'm Keith Warren, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, Connor.
Yes, sir.
For more videos on deer farming, check out the Deer Farming channel on YouTube and Facebook. Rafter P Construction is rural America's premier design build contractor, building projects from the ground up for luxury home builds to barn dominiums, from deer and agricultural facilities to lodges, and all property improvements and infrastructure. You need to check out Rafter P Construction. Specializing in quality farm and ranch design build projects, Rafter P Construction encourages their customers to be very hands-on. Rafter P Construction, they'll be with you every step of the way to build your dream project.